So what happens when one of your paddling buddies goes away for a year to guide in Hawaii? Well, you have to help them downsize their fleet. So this is a skin-on-frame TRAK kayak. I'll do a quick overview. I'm going to try to put it away for the first time in this bag. And then in the next video, I'll take it out on the water for the day and then discuss how it goes. So my buddy Matt is a local instructor, guide, and he had the opportunity to go guide in Hawaii for a year. So on the plus side, it was awesome helping him downsize his fleet. But on the negative side, you no longer have a local paddling buddy that's always down to surf every single time a storm rolls through. But I know he'll be back. In the meantime, it was awesome to help him out by taking over one of his kayaks. And at the same time, I think this will be a great addition to my fleet because it fits perfectly with what I'm trying to do with my van build, where I love the fact that this is a capable, seaworthy kayak that can be folded up really neatly into a bag and just stored away, let's say in your trunk or just somewhere, that at any point you can bring it out and you can play in waves, you can paddle for the whole day, you can pretty much do anything with these. These have been around for a while. There's many reviews on the internet already. I got the chance to test one out. My buddies Tim and Dan on the Pacific Northwest, Tim up north, and I got the chance to test Tim's out at Styx several years ago, and it was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it, and I thought someday maybe it would be a really good fit for me. But as I mentioned many times on my channel, I usually like having one, maybe two kayaks at most, because they can get expensive sometimes if you have more than one. But if the opportunity to get a kayak that you've been thinking about used comes up, it's really hard to pass up. And if you haven't already, I'll put a link to Tim's channel here. He's an instructor, fantastic paddler, and he focuses a lot on the traditional side of paddling. He's built countless skin-on frames. He has one of these, and he's even gone to Greenland to compete. And recently, he started doing vlogging again of his adventures kayaking. So definitely do check him out. Anyway, quick overview of why I was so interested in helping Matt downsize and taking this kayak over. First, it is actually really light. I haven't put it on a scale yet, but I will, and I'll let you know what it came out to. But it's definitely light enough that you can easily put it up on your shoulder and take it anywhere you need to. Now, one of the coolest features that you have with this one, it has 3 pumps that separates the front frame from the back frame to give it rigidity. But the bottom pump in the keel, this is the coolest part, in my opinion, for this. It allows you to change the rocker of the kayak on the fly. So that's so exciting because you can keep the rocker low as you paddle out somewhere. And then if you want to change the rocker to then be able to be more maneuverable and tackle waves, let's say, in a different way, you just on the fly change that rocker, and all of a sudden you have a kayak that could turn easier and will be overall more playful on the water. But then you can take it out again and have that long water line that will make the trip back to wherever you started a little easier. So in my opinion, that's a super cool concept. As I said before, I've tried this one before. It's actually a little weird. It's a little bit of deja vu because Tim's that I tried is exactly in this color combination. So it feels surreal to be back in exactly the same looking kayak. But the fit is nice. You can adjust the foot pegs and you can pretty much pad it out however you need. Matt's setup had float bags for the front and the back. He had obviously a skirt and also a sock. A sock can be super useful because what you do essentially is you put it in, you get yourself into the sock, and if water gets in through the cockpit, you can only get the amount of water that will be in the sock rather than filling up the entire kayak. That's usually why we put float bags in it. With skin-on frames, having a sea sock is also super helpful as an option as well. And now what I'll try to do is take it apart for the first time and see how easily it is for me to put it away. Putting it together didn't take a long time. I didn't time it just because it was my first time doing it, so there was a lot of stuff for me to figure out. But what I'll do is once I get the hang of it, I'll set a timer, and that way I can share how long it does take to put together. Quick tip for getting the frames out. Just put your hand on the skin as you wiggle the frame out. That definitely makes it come out much easier than just trying to pull it out. So now turn your kayak into a tent, essentially. Seats, ribs. All right, everything seems to be in. So these are the float bags. Super important if you're paddling a skin on frame. All of that water will be displaced. It's all air instead of water. Same thing as having hatches in a regular kayak. Okay, I know it'll get a lot easier as I get to do that process. That's why I also wanted to film the first one. So in the next one, I'll take it out in the water and do a video on that. One last thing I want to say is that I do really love traditional paddling. And I think it's so interesting that in this particular model, they were able to incorporate a lot of the traditional aspects of kayaking with a lot of the things that make them safer nowadays, like having things like an actual perimeter line the entire way, thigh braces, that adjustable rocker is just crazy. And I know these aren't new, they've been around now for years, but it's still really exciting to have the opportunity to have something like this that can be packed away in your vehicle, and at any point you have access to it. And not even in your vehicle, you can travel with this. I mean, it's an oversized bag, but it's still a bag. All right, I'll see you next time on the water. If there's any questions about the TRAK kayak, any stories you might have, please do comment below. Subscribe if you like, and we're trying to put these videos out. As always, with Kayak Hipster, thank you for watching, and see you next time.